How's it going, everybody? Well, that sucked. That really, really sucked. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything in this video. The Green Bay Packers completely collapsed in the final minutes of this pivotal NFC North matchup between the rival Chicago Bears. And they lose 22-16 in overtime in Soldier Field. It sucked. This is a couple hours already after the game, and it still hurts. It still sucks. The Green Bay Packers completely collapsed in this game. Completely collapsed in the final minutes of this game. You could have been watching this game with 2.5 minutes left and be like, okay, well, I can shut it off now. The Packers are going to win. Nope. That's not what happened. The Green Bay Packers were up 16-6 with about 2.5 minutes to go. And they lost. The Chicago Bears scored 16 unanswered points to win this game. They collapsed. Completely collapsed. This was a worse collapse than Week 3 against Cleveland. It really was. It really was. And I'm not gonna use this whole excuse of, oh, we were down players. Oh, Jordan was out. No. Nay. We're not doing that here. The Green Bay Packers have no excuses for this. This was horrific. Literally, there was one route. When it was 16-6 with 2.5 minutes left, there was literally one pathway for the Chicago Bears to win this game. And they went right down that pathway. Right down the pathway. Okay? The Green Bay Packers, in this game, just the collapse alone, we'll start with Brinson's face mask, which gave the Bears life when it should have been probably the game-ending sack. You had Dobbs' onside kickoff fumble, a little bit of 2014 NFC Championship flashback for you right there. That was great. That was cool. That was nice to see. Blown coverage on the final regulation touchdown for the Bears. Just Nixon standing there watching. That's fine. Whatever. Then on 4th and 1, and botch snapped in overtime. That's cool. And then the Bears, then went down the field and scored the game-winning touchdown. The Green Bay Packers had 384 total yards of offense. No punts, 16 points. How do they only have 16 points, do you ask? 0 for 5 in the red zone. They were 1 for 4 last week, which makes 1 for 9 in the last 2 weeks. Unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. If you just get in the end zone a couple times, the Packers win last week and this week. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what I watched in the final minutes of this game. Granted, the first 58 minutes, 57 and a half minutes of regulation weren't perfect either. But it was clearly enough to win. You can't be up 10 points with 2.5 minutes to go and blow it. And the Packers did just that. Not to mention Jordan going down. Okay? Went down early in the game, left with a concussion on a helmet-to-helmet hit. Jordan goes down. Okay? Malik Willis comes in and plays great. It wasn't elite. It was great. He came in and didn't screw anything up. Okay? Didn't. He played great. Malik Willis was 9 of 11, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked twice, and he ran the ball 10 times for 44 yards. Okay? Yeah, of course you had that bot snapped in overtime. Fine. Okay, fine. Other than that, Malik Willis did more than enough to win this game. More than enough. Emmanuel Wilson had 14 attempts, 82 yards. He played well, too. He did. He had a lot of really good runs. Okay? Josh Jacobs, 12 attempts, 36 yards, and fumbled in the red zone. Again. Why is our top running back fumbling in the red zone? Again. He then left the game and didn't come back because he got hurt again. Savion, Golden, and Reed did jet sweeps again. That did nothing. I don't know why Matthew Golden is doing jet sweeps. Why? It never works. Savion can do it. Jaden Reed can do it. Matthew Golden shouldn't be doing it. Let Matthew Golden run routes. Okay, play to his strengths. Coach the team that you have, not the team that you want. Okay? Romeo Doubs led the team in receiving. Okay, he had a lot, and he had a touchdown. He had 5 receptions for 84 yards and a touchdown. And then had the fumble on the onside kick. He played great up until that point, and then he had a wrist injury and didn't come back. And if I were to have filmed this video a couple hours ago, I would have said a lot of mean things about Romeo Doubs. But again, I've had time to relax, calm my emotions, and look at this objectively. I will say I think Romeo Doubs is great. I don't care what anybody says. The Green Bay Packers are going to extend this man at the end of the season, and he's going to continue to play for the Packers because, yes, the onside kick fumble pretty much lost the game for the Packers. But it's not all on Romeo. It's not. It's just not. Now I know that I've already seen on Twitter and all these things comparing him to Brandon Bostic and side-by-side videos of it. Fine. He blundered. He screwed up. But Romeo Doubs is still a great wide receiver. So I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing that game. Luke Musgrave, he had 3 receptions for 38 yards. Jaden Reed had 3 receptions for 35 yards. Defensively, Quay Walker led the team in tackles. Javon Bullard, he played well today. He had a couple of big run-saving tackles. Keyshawn Nixon, not great today. Not great today, bud. He looked like, and I'm going to rewatch the game later, but it looked like he blew that coverage in regulation. It looks bad. You're just standing there. He was also the one who was on DJ Moore when DJ Moore caught that game-winning touchdown in overtime. It's a good catch. Is it 100% on Keyshawn for not? I don't know. It was a great throw by Caleb, and it was a great catch by DJ Moore. Is it 100% on Keyshawn? No. Could he have tried to get defended the, to block the pass? Sure. I don't know, but Keyshawn's had another bad game, and yeah, he had a bad week last week, bad week this week. Wasn't all that great in the first matchup against the Bears. Yeah, he had that game-winning interception, but before that, was not playing well. Is Keyshawn a guy who's back with the Packers next season? I don't think so. And I love Keyshawn. I think he's great, but I don't think he's back. Not like Romeo. I think Romeo comes back, but Keyshawn, I don't think Keyshawn comes back. Xavier McKinney dropped another interception. For the most part, he was all right. And I think we need to I want to briefly talk about Rashawn Gary. Now, I love Rashawn Gary. I think he's great. Fine. He's great. The Packers gave him a lot of money, extended him. He didn't have production. He hasn't had a sack in now 8 games. Okay? Lightly jogging after Caleb Williams after he toasts you, after he burns you, and then lightly jogging around trying to catch. What are you doing? What are you doing? He had an almost sack. He kind of got tripped up and, didn't get him. But Rashawn Gary, he had no production when Micah was getting 2-3 people on him. And now, again, still no production now that Micah's gone and there's no 2-3 old linemen trying to block Micah. Now everyone's on you and you're still not doing anything. As a fan, I would love to see more out of Rashawn Gary than what he's been doing the last 8 games. He had a great game against Pittsburgh. He had 2 sacks against Pittsburgh. And since then, he's done nothing. He's done nothing. We need to see more out of him for a guy that the Packers are paying a crap load of money to. I want to see more out of Rashan Gary. Okay, I'm not saying cut him. I'm not saying get rid of him. I would like to see more from him because he can play really well. He's a very, very good player. I just need to see more out of him. I really, really do. I really do. This Packers defense, for the most part, until the last 2 or so minutes, played great. They shut out the Bears in the first half, and they only allowed 6 points or 9 points up until the complete collapse. So, yeah. Of course, you have a couple plays here and there that lose the game for the Packers. Okay? And it sucks. It sucks. It really, really sucks. Fitzpatrick, our third-string tight end, he went down. Josh Wiley was already not in this game, so the Packers only had Luke Musgrave. So the tight end situation isn't great. We'll see how Josh is. We'll see how Jaden Reed is. We'll see how Romeo is. But the injuries are starting to pile up, and at the worst possible time. And again, you have to have that next man up mentality. Okay, all these guys are professionals. I'm not blaming this loss on injuries. I'm blaming it on the Packers completely collapsing. And the Bears doing exactly what the Bears needed to do to win the game. So, give Bears the credit where the credit is due. Honestly, they played great in the last couple minutes. And they did what they needed to do. Let's get into some stats for the Bears. Caleb Williams, 19 of 34, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no sacks. He was an escape artist again, and he had a lot of really great throws. He did. Caleb played really well. Really, really well. I've been saying it all year. I said it 2 weeks ago when the Packers played him. I've been saying it all year in predictions. Caleb Williams is a good quarterback. The only thing Caleb Williams needs to do a little bit better is accuracy, and that's it. And that's it. He can get around the pocket really well. He's an escape artist. He avoids the sacks. Some of his passes are just beautiful. Really, just dimes. It is what it is. The Bears have a quarterback now. Caleb Williams is good. He just is. Swift, he had 13 attempts on the ground for 58 yards. Monangai, he had 9 attempts for 50 yards. For the most part, the Bears' run game, for the most part, was held in check. They had a couple of big runs, but held in check. The leading receiver, of course, was DJ Moore. 5 receptions, 97 yards, and then that touchdown, that 46 or 47-yard touchdown in overtime to win the game. Walker, he had that other receiving touchdown right at the end of regulation in the fourth quarter. 2 sacks for the Bears defense. Both of those were on Malik. They didn't get any interceptions today. 16 unanswered points, like I said, to win the game. They're down 16-6, and they're playing 22-16. And the Bears did this without Odunze and Burden. So that's something. They did that without their top 2 guys. Okay. Good job, Bears. Good job. Congratulations. And I mean that. And I mean that. They played a very good game. And they beat the Packers fair and square. All right. With that, this is their 8th straight fourth quarter comeback this season. Caleb Williams has now tied Peyton Manning for the most fourth quarter comebacks in a season. That's good. That's good. It is. It is. So congratulations, Caleb. That's great. And now, since 2008, the Bears are now 7-30 against the Packers. So that's my one little cheap shot. That's my one little cheap shot. Other than that, good job, Bears. A couple of team stats quickly to go over. The Green Bay Packers dominated the time of possession, 38 minutes, 57 seconds, compared to the Bears' 26 minutes and 13 seconds. 24 first downs for the Packers, 20 for the Bears. The Packers were 6 of 12 on third down. The Bears were 2 of 11 on third down. The Packers were 1 for 3 on fourth down. The Bears were 2 of 3. And this is the big difference right here. Like I said already, the Packers 0 for 5 in the red zone. And the Bears were 1 for 2. Penalties, the Packers had 4 for 40 yards. And the Bears had 10 for 105 yards. So, GG's Bears. You beat them. You beat the Packers. The Bears now have a 1.5 game lead in the NFC North, tightening their grip and getting just ever so closely to winning the North. Next week, the Green Bay Packers, who now sit at 9-5-1, will have their final home game of the regular season against the Baltimore Ravens, who are 7-7. They take on the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. That will be next Saturday, the 27th, in Lambeau. The Bears, who now sit at 11-4, they will head to Santa Clara to take on the Niners next Sunday, the 28th. The Niners are now currently sit at 10-4, and they are taking on the Colts on Monday Night Football. So we'll see how that goes. All right, couple of playoff scenarios to go over quickly here. Now that the Bears won tonight, if Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers go into Detroit and beat the Blue Kitties, it will give the Bears a playoff spot. They'll clinch the playoffs if the Steelers beat the Lions. Okay? The Green Bay Packers can still win the North. Okay? This only happens if the Packers beat the Ravens next week and then beat the Vikings in Minnesota, and the Bears lose to the Niners and the Lions. Okay? So, the Packers can still win the North if they win out, but the Bears have to lose out. Okay? The Packers can now clinch playoff berth, okay, instead of just winning today and then the Lions losing tomorrow. If the Lions lose tomorrow, the Green Bay Packers can still clinch a playoff spot if they beat Baltimore next week. That's just a playoff spot. Of course, you want the North, you want to win the division, you want the home playoff game. Yeah. So, congratulations, Bears. It was a good game. It was a well-fought game. Good comeback. So, the Green Bay Packers split the season series with the Bears, lose their first game of the division this year, and it's tough. It's tough. That is the last Packer game we're going to have before Christmas. Of course, Christmas is on Thursday. Predictions will be out Wednesday morning. Yep, the morning of Christmas Eve. So I'm going to get those done on Wednesday morning, and then I'll see you guys on Saturday. But, tough loss today. That's all I got for you guys. If you stayed to the end of the video, I appreciate you watching. It is much, much appreciated. I know I ramble quite frequently, so I appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, I'll see you next week. And as always, go Pack Go.